Hello everyone, Thursday, May 10th, 2018. Of course, yesterday was New Comic Book Day, and today would be New Comic Book Video Day. So, was not a real big week, but there were some really nice books that came out, and a couple of really sought-after titles that just kind of blew off the shelves. So, we'll jump right into that right now. And then, last week I showed some favorite covers, and I got a tremendous response on that, so I'm going to show you some more favorite covers. And then, I bought a book online from a new seller, and the book came in and I was really disappointed with the shipping and the way it was packaged, so I'm going to show that. So let's jump right into the books, shall we? Book number one, Venom number one. Of course, people were buying this off the shelves because it was a number one, and the movie is coming out, so everybody and their mother is buying the number ones thinking they're going to be a giant thing or a big price, and they're not. They're not going to, because most shops bought a tremendous amount of these books because of just that issue, knowing people were going to come in because of the movie and buy them. So I bought them because I'm just going to put them away. Here's a Venom blank variant. Get a nice sketch on that. Variant for Venom 1. And then I have a 1 in 25 that I saw that I really liked. I haven't picked it up yet, but I will. One of the books that came out yesterday, which was probably the hottest book that came out yesterday and blew off the shelves, and I guarantee you'll probably have a hard time finding them in yours. We've been talking about this book since day one, and this is Scooby Apocalypse number 25. This is The Death of Fred. And the one thing that irritated me was most shops don't carry a lot of these books. They bring in maybe, 5 to 7 copies of this book. Now, there were 2 cover variants, or 2 covers of this. This was cover A, and cover B was Fred being lifted by ghosts or goblins or whatever you want to call them. The death issue, which was really nice, but they were all damaged in the back, which was kind of irritating, but that happens with Diamond, unfortunately. So this book right here, Scooby Apocalypse 25, Death of Fred. If you can find these in your local shop, pick them up, because it's limited already. It's already sold out. It's sold out from the publisher. So anything else that comes out after this is going to be a second print. There are no more first prints to be had. So there you go. One of the books I was anticipating, I haven't had a chance to read any of these books, but I am looking forward to this one. This is Batman White Knight, 8 of 8, number 8, the last in the storyline. And there were 2 covers. This was the only cover that I liked. And this is something that they're gonna branch off on, because this was a very good story, and the fans really seem to like it, and everybody I've spoken to has really liked this book. So you can see something coming down the line with that. So Batman White Knight, really, really good book there. Spider-Man Deadpool, we're at issue 32. I remember when the first couple issues came out, people were on it, and they're like, oh, it won't last. 32nd issue. Still a good storyline. I'm enjoying it. Detective 980. Wonder Woman 46. This is part 1 of the Dark God storyline. Oblivion Song number 3. Now, when Oblivion Song number 1 came out, I told everybody that people were just going to jump on it because of the success of Walking Dead, and everybody just anticipating that this was going to be the same type of book. But you can still find first prints at the shops, because shops bought a ton of these. It's a good storyline, but it's just not going to be the same as a Walking Dead, because there were so many copies purchased from publishers because of who did the book and because of the popularity of The Walking Dead. But still, an excellent read if that's what you're looking for. No Justice, number 1 of 4. Of course, New Comic Book Day, they had the 25-cent comic book for it, with the shops put their ads on the back. So there is that. And a book that was recommended to me by a friend. This is Isola from Image. Isola number 2. This is the Virgin variant right here. Haven't had a chance to read it, but the person who gave me the recommendation, I highly respect his opinion, and I am very looking forward to reading this one and the number 1. So I picked up a book. I picked up a book online and paid my price for the book. Well, not a fancy book. It wasn't a real old book. And it cost me, $14, $15 for the book. He charged me $4 shipping. So I'm like, okay. So now when I ship a book, I charge, if you've bought from me, I charge $6 to ship a book. Up to 6 items, up to 6 books, because I can fit 6 books comfortably in an infinity holder. Now, you get the infinity holder. Depending on the age of the book, you're going to get a top loader inside that infinity holder, and you're going to get a bubble mailer, including you're going to get 3-day shipping, which means it's going to get to you in 3 to 4 days with delivery confirmation, tracking, the whole 9 yards. Because when people buy things from me, I want them to come back and be repeat customers, because it's important to me that when I do decide to sell certain books, you receive the book in the condition that I told you it was in, because my reputation's at stake on that, and I take that very, very seriously. So I buy the book from the guy, comes in the mailbox. I have one of those bigger boxes, and I get a bubble mailer. Okay, so we're starting off good. Then I get a book in a bag and board, wrapped in this piece of plastic, inside the, inside the bubble mailer. He just had the book kind of wrapped around this thing, and, I guess to protect from the rain. So, okay. So I'm thinking, okay, now if you stick that between 2 hard pieces of cardboard, you're going to protect the book. But this is what he puts it in. He gives me 4 of these things, which are paper thin. You can see I'm barely holding it, and it's bending already. So what do you think that's going to do to the book inside? Certainly not going to protect it. So if you get that and you put this in the bubble mailer, I can fold this up and just put it right in there, because the bag and board isn't going to protect it by itself. Those of you who bought things online from people understand that this is not protecting my book. The cost factor of shipping doesn't bother me. Okay? If you're going to charge $4 and that's what you're going to give me, charge me a couple of extra dollars and do the job correctly. Now, when I ship books the way I do, if I send a single book, I charge $6. If I send a single book, it costs me $4.85 with the 2-day shipping, 3-day shipping. Okay, now you add the cost of the bubble mailer, and you add the cost of the infinity holder, and now my cost factor is over $6. But that's okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind losing a little bit on the back end to make sure you get the books that you have coming to you, and that in the condition that I told you they would be in. Because that's what it is to be a good seller, is caring about the customer, caring about the product that you're selling, and being honest enough to do everything you can to guarantee the condition that you tell them it is what it is they receive on the other end. Shipping it half-assed like that isn't going to do that. I'm lucky the book didn't come damaged, because the package was damaged a little bit on the outside, and I don't know how it wasn't damaged. It's just lucky, but trust me, you know who you are who sold me that book. And just so you know, I appreciate the book, I like the book, but you will never get another dime out of me, because your shipping and your mailing is an absolute joke. And that's the problem with buying online on eBay these days, because we have too many sellers who call themselves sellers and collectors who do that. And a true seller and a true person who cares about the books wouldn't do that. They would take the time to go the extra mile to make sure that your books are packaged properly. There. I said it. I'm done. Let's get into some favorite covers. Now remember, my favorite covers are different than other people's favorite covers. I am not a person who looks at a cover and says because the book is worth X amount of money, that becomes my favorite cover. If the book is worth 50 cents and I love the cover, then that's one of my favorite covers. It's just the way it is. I remember covers for what they make me think of when I look at them. So, as you know, I love war stories. I love war comics, Our Army at War. This is Weird War Tales number 30, and this is 1974. Now, I love this cover for the simple reason that when you think of war, you think about, unfortunately, people dying. And for some reason, the soldier looking in that door with the bony hand, kind of calling him in there. To me, that's just like death calling this soldier, telling him, you know what? Your time is coming. Why don't you just come on in here? And that always spoke to me, being a veteran myself and knowing people that unfortunately had lost their lives. And as you get older, you kind of see symbolism in certain covers that you don't see as a kid. That's the symbolism I got from this one. This is why I love this cover. I love this cover too. I love Batman, obviously. Anything with a Tombstone Cemetery, I love. That's just a really classic cover. Not the highest graded book, but just a really nice cover book right there. And again, if I see a cover that I like, I'll just continue buying the covers and continue buying the issues because I don't care how many I have. I love that cover right there. One of my probably top 10 covers is, again, not because of financial, but because I just love this. Number one is a Neal Adams cover. You can't go wrong, from 1971. This is Detective Comics 415. And I just always love that cover of Batman hanging there. It's just, I just love that cover. Justice League of America 66, another Neal Adams cover. I don't know what draws me to this cover. It's nothing fancy. I don't know. I think it's maybe the superheroes running from people, you know, calling them the dirty half dozen. I just really like that cover. Always had. It's Neal Adams, but again, it's not one of his fancier or iconic covers. Just something about that always got me. This one is a pretty fancy cover. This was an iconic cover as well, and I always like to use that because if you see a shirt made of something or something of that nature, you know it's a famous cover. This is a famous cover. This is Green Lantern number 88. Right there. That's classic Neal Adams right there. Golden Age, Green Lantern. How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong? Great cover. And of course, if I'm going to show Batman hanging from the rafters, I have to show Batman 246 and show Robin hanging from the rafters. Another Neal Adams cover, not a high grade, but just a cool cover. I have higher versions of this book because I love this cover. I just like the whole thing, you know, oh, Robin, oh, no, not again. That's just, you know, classic stuff right there. I love it. Love that cover. So that was my pickups. Those are my favorite covers for this week. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. I'll show more covers next week. Again, if you're going to sell something on eBay, take the time to package it correctly. I am going to do a video probably tomorrow of the shop I've been buying my books at. They want me to do one, so I'm going to do it. So I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night, and thank you so much for all the support. Talk to you later.